Yes, and it's welcome back to Mr. Lucio Fulci, the godfather of gore himself, because we're going to talk about a film that we did not cover in great detail when we did our Lucio Fulci episode back in the day, which is episode 37 of the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So he had 3 Section 2 video nasties, Zombie Flesh Eaters, The Beyond, and The House by the Cemetery. We reviewed those. That was a really fun show. That's one of my favourite shows that we did at the previous run. So please go back and listen to that because it's really good. From that, we then come to City of the Living Dead. So it's 1980.
Yeah.
Also known as The Gates of Hell, or the direct Italian translation, which is Terror in the City of the Living Dead. And Ria, why don't you tell us the synopsis of City of the Living Dead?
I shall. So, a reporter and a psychic race to close the gates of hell after the suicide of a clergyman caused them to open, allowing the dead to rise from their graves.
A clergyman, is that like a boogeyman?
As in a priest.
Yes.
Father Thomas.
Yeah, Father Thomas, who's another one of these zombies, although he's kind of tied to like Schweig from The Beyond and also Dr. Freudstein from House by the Cemetery, where there's one zombie who's like the big bad zombie.
Yeah.
And this film is interesting because...
Like the leader.
Yeah, he's like the zombie leader, exactly. And I misremembered this film because I assumed there are loads of zombies in this film, and it's not really the case.
So, not loads, but then at the end, there's suddenly randomly loads. So, I guess it's kind of the finale where you see like more, and you just assume there are lots at the end. But...
Which is very interesting because when we tie this into the other film we're going to talk about on the episode today, it kind of shows the value of restraint because, yes, there are zombies in this film. There's Father Thomas. He doesn't look like a zombie, but he's dead. He hangs himself right at the start of the film, so he's clearly dead.
Yeah.
But then you have other characters who are turned into zombies as the film goes along. And then there is a story. There's a very crazy story in this film, which is kind of one of the reasons that I like it. But there are a lot of zombies who then appear in the last 5 minutes of the film, and that's it.
They sort of teleport around sometimes.
Yeah. So that was one of the things I wanted to talk about. So zombie flesh eaters, they're very traditional zombies. They're very Romero-esque zombies. So they're zombies where they're slow, they're shuffling, they bite people, and they turn into zombies. Doesn't work like that in this film.
They just sort of see the priest and they get like infected. Their mind becomes infected and suddenly they sort of become like... Or they get touched by the priest and his maggoty hand.
There's not a lot of... There's no brain eating, and there's very, very minimal kind of gut munching that happens in this.
Well, there's a lot of like crushed skulls and brains, which is pretty damn cool to be honest.
It is.
I quite like that effect.
So how people get turned into zombies is like the back of their head gets crushed and their brain is literally seeping out of their skull, which is pretty nifty.
But sometimes they just see the zombies and it's kind of enough to sort of infect them.
Yeah, which would make me kind of categorize this more as like a supernatural horror film rather than a zombie film.
Yeah, especially with this kind of like teleportation sort of appearing out of nowhere thing.
So what were your thoughts on the film overall then? Because I've been bigging this up to you for years, literally.
Yeah, I mean, it's really well made. So it's, it's kind of it's a pleasure to watch. It's different. It's kind of cheesy in places, probably because of that supernatural element. And it's well scored, and it's a fun watch. It's the quality's there. Cinematically, it's nice. It's a nice watch. So.
Oh yeah. So what I like about this film is it's very atmospheric. And the atmosphere kind of starts from the very beginning of the film because it starts with that. Well, it starts in New York. Which of course it does.
It's a favourite.
Fulci loves New York so much. Yeah. More than like Umberto Lenzi somehow. No idea how. But it starts with a seance.
Yeah.
Which I thought was really cool.
Yeah, it was really cool actually. And they sort of have this medium there, this woman who's a medium. She's pretty like cool character in it as well.
And this film, like The Beyond and House by the Cemetery, stars Catriona MacColl. And I said, back when we did the Fulci show, I remember saying that I thought, this is her best performance. It's not. the performance in the Beyond, I think the character she plays in the Beyond is better than this.
Mm-hmm.
Really, after the first sort of 20 minutes, she's kind of there. It feels a bit, I don't know, it kind of feels a bit bad faith to kind of talk about characters in sort of horror films sort of like this, because they're not really there to kind of be developed and all that type of stuff. They're there to kind of move the plot along.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So her character's not my favourite. Another actor who appears in this who I really like is Christopher George. But my favourite film of his is Pieces, which we have to talk about on this show because I love Pieces.
Yeah, no, I've watched that with you as well. And
yes,
it's really awesome.
Him and his wife in that film, they're awesome.
So cool.
His character, again, doesn't really do a lot. Yeah, you can tell he's kind of got something about him, but yeah. My favourite character, though, not necessarily for his importance to the plot, although he is slightly important, is Giovanni Lombardo Radice. Right, welcome back to him, who plays Bob. Who's
such an awesome name.
Yeah, well, not the best name in the film, I would say. I'll tell you that in a minute. But yeah, his character, he's the punching bag. He's the Bruce Campbell of Italian exploitation cinema, I would say, because yeah, his character in this film is a proper punching bag, and they make out that he's like a massive creep. Even though none of the women in the film are like that bothered by him, they actually actively go out their way to kind of socialize with him, which I find hilarious.
Strange. I mean, on another note, I found a common theme in this for both movies that we're covering today, and it's pretty disturbing.
Okay. I think I know what you're going to say, but...
There's an incest theme in these movies, guys.
Right. I mean, incest is mentioned in the first film. It's only mentioned in passing.
But it's still weird.
It's still a bit weird, yes. It's kind of... I think what that is, again, because I've seen interviews with Fulci to try and kind of glean nuggets for you guys that are listening to the show, and he has a disdain for certain things. Mostly Dario Argento. He hates Dario Argento.
Aww.
I mean, Fulci's been dead for years, so it doesn't really matter now. But yeah, he slags off Dario Argento a lot. But he hates the church, like Ria.
Oh. Guys, he's just joking.
No, right. Fulci particularly hates Catholicism specifically, which if you've seen some of his other films, that comes out in that. The fact that the head zombie in this film is a priest is also pretty telling. But he also doesn't have a lot of time for psychology. So obviously in House by the Cemetery, you've got, Dr. Freudstein, so that's Freud. The fact that a very major character in this is a psychiatrist, I think is quite interesting. And yes, like he's having this conversation with his patient, who's played by Janet Agron.
Yeah.
Basically, and she's talking about how, all girls want to marry their fathers.
She says when she was 8 years old, she wanted to marry her father.
But he was an alcoholic, and then that ended pretty quickly. Which, yes, that's the sum total of it. But yes, that's where it comes from. So without meaning to spoil the review of the next film, it's not the same.
We'll get to that.
The same.
We'll get to that in the next one.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of atmosphere in this film, be it, the wind. And another thing that Fulci kind of brings up in some of his films, particularly in Don't Torture a Duckling, is kind of the small-mindedness of people in small towns like this.
Yeah.
So in Don't Torture a Duckling, these children die and the townspeople blame this woman who's played by Florinda Balkan, who they say, well, she's a witch and she's kidnapped these children and it's her fault. And spoiler for that film, but they kill her about 2/3 of the way into the film. And this film, in a similar way, has the townspeople basically blame, there's a character that goes missing and dies, who's Emily.
Yeah.
And they blame it on Bob. Poor Bob. It's not his fault.
Yeah.
But because he's a bit of a creepy guy, they just want to blame all these supernatural phenomena and people going missing on him.
Yeah.
As opposed to, it's this priest that's died and has opened up the gates of hell in 3 days and all that type of stuff.
It's quite funny how they sort of establish his character as like a creepy guy, because when he goes to Dunwich and he finds this like abandoned house and he goes in, there's like a blow up doll
Yes.
that he inflates.
Which is very random.
And it's like, oh, this is kind of his pastime. He just goes off finding inflatable blow up dolls, sex dolls.
Very strange. And also, like, where he lives, he's got pictures of like naked women up on the wall as well, which is a thing that you used to only find in like mechanics.
Yeah, page
garages.
Models. Yeah.
Or at least you get that in this country. I don't know about other countries.
Well, you get he finds like a corpse on the floor. It's quite wormy, so they use quite a lot of real worms in this movie, which I thought was pretty cool. I liked it when they used to do practical effects like that.
Practical worms.
It's very Evil Dead sort of feeling.
Yeah. A lot of stuff in Fulci's film. And again, this ties into all of his films, really. Well, at least around this period when he could afford decent effects, but the effects are very disgusting.
Yeah,
like legitimately. Yeah, you like talking about worms, or there's a scene later on that involves maggots.
Yeah,
like millions of maggots, seemingly.
Oh, that bit was awesome. It's like a snowstorm of maggots.
Yeah, it really is.
It's like they get fired at all of the cast.
You wouldn't be able to do that now. I think Peter would get quite upset.
But yeah, there's this wild bit that sort of sets up part of the plot of like how we get inside information. It's that Mary, we think she's dead from the seance, and then she gets buried alive, which is pretty fucking wild, to be honest. It's quite a scary bit. I liked this.
Yeah, I've heard of this where people, quote unquote, die, but they're not actually dead, but they just wake up again.
Yeah. So she's banging on the lid of the casket, and luckily there's somebody there that hears her. Yeah,
which is one of the only bits of the film that I don't really like, because why is he hanging around a cemetery for ages?
It is. It's all a bit too convenient. It's a little bit like, I was rolling my eyes at that bit, but it's quite dramatic the way he sort of rips open the lid of the casket and she's screaming inside and stuff. It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
aesthetically,
it's cool. Obviously, when he's like got this pickaxe and he's trying to get into this coffin, and the pickaxe is coming like literally inches away from her head, which must have been no fun to shoot. I'll just say that much.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is cool. But yeah, his character just being there for hours, just on the off chance, oh, well, I've heard this woman, something has happened to her. And interesting side note, one of the grave diggers is played by Perry Perkinen from Cannibal Holocaust. It's the blonde guy with the moustache. So
awesome.
That's a random kind of cameo in there.
Yeah, so she gets dug up and then she's seen hell, so she can tell them like what it looks like and what she knows about it, and then they sort of trace it back to this priest eventually, because she sort of knows what's happened, because that's what happened during the seances. She discovered more about it.
Yeah, sure. Another thing that I just want to quickly mention is the makeup effects, because we're talking about two zombie films, and even though the effects, so the gore effects, were done by the same person in both these films, it's a man called Gino De Rossi, and the gore effects are awesome. The makeup effects for the zombies are much better in this film than the next film we're going to talk about. And they're really awesome. Like the character of Emily. After she dies and comes back to life, I think she looks awesome.
Yeah, her makeup is just so cool. It's so haunting. I really loved the parts where she had bleeding eyes. It was just so effective.
Yeah.
That was when she was like turning, when she saw the priest. And
yeah, so a few characters get bleeding eyes in this.
Some of them got like guts coming out of their mouth.
Yep.
There's also this like quite eerie sort of cat noise when the priest is about to come, which I thought was really effective. Then Emily would definitely took the prize with being like the most sort of haunting like makeup look.
Yeah, although I would say the makeup generally, like for the main zombies, like not the zombies at the end, because they were just, I don't know, because they were kind of in the distance, so they didn't look as good. But like Giancarlo Lombardo, so Bob, basically when he comes back, or the couple in the car when they kind of come back as zombies, they look pretty cool. And they can teleport. Which I think is pretty gnarly.
That was awesome.
Cool. So you are the unalive scribe, as we've established, and we've kind of talked about a few of the deaths already, and there's some really awesome deaths, one of which you kind of mentioned in passing, very kind of underselling this death, by the way. But yeah, let us know how many deaths there were in this film.
Well, so there's actually 40. So I might do a quick speed read of this through, because I do try to do that. It's a lot. Obviously, we've got the priest committed suicide.
Yep.
Mary dies and comes back. This is the thing with this list, you see, which took me a while to sort of compile, because some of them die and then they come back and they sort of die again. So
yeah, I don't think you can count Mary because she didn't die. She's come back to life technically.
Yeah, I can't. So cross that one out. That's not actually in the total of 40. So Mary dies, comes back. Emily dies because she sees the priest. She bleeds from her eyes. And then someone called Rosie, which is the couple in the car.
Yeah.
Tommy, he's the guy in the car, has got his skull crushed. Jane Holden, Mrs. Holden, died of old age / fear.
Yeah.
But then she sort of gets taken. There's a random thief that gets their hand bitten.
That's the Undertaker, which is hilarious.
Oh.
One of the things I like about Fulci's films is, or this one in particular, is they're these characters that are only in the film for maybe a couple of minutes, but they're not like random background characters. He at least does try and at least give them some kind of
they're doing
something about them. So you got the old guys at the bar, they're hilarious. And yeah, this Undertaker who's a thief, he steals like a necklace, I think is what he steals from Emily. It's like, honestly, it's
so he gets his comeuppance, he gets his hand
proper
bitten.
Does, yeah.
We assume he dies. Bob, I mean, this was my favourite death.
It's so good.
Bob's death. So Mr. Ross, who thinks he's a pervert.
I mean, he is really, if we're being honest. But yes, he's not the cause of like what's happened. He is actually innocent of that, as is in,
But yeah, he calls him a pervert or a bastard or something. But Mr. Ross says, comments on what he thinks this Bob guy's done to his daughter or something like that. And so he wants to take vengeance for his daughter. And he gets like an electric table drill and drills into his head. So that was like the most dramatic death, I think, for me.
Which is a callback to the splinter in the eye from Zombie Flesh Eaters, because it's literally the same kind of, the way it's edited together, where it's like you see the drill, then you see Bob, and then you see the drill again, and then you see Bob, and then you see Mr. Ross.
Really
and
cool.
It's just, he's getting closer and closer. You know what's going to happen.
Yeah, you know exactly what's going to happen, but it's satisfying.
And because it's Fulci, he ain't cutting away. Like, you're going to see this drill go into his head.
Yeah. 8 and 9, Emily's parents. So Jack comes to tell them.
Well, and it's not Jack. That's the guy. That's the kid from The Incredibles. So his name's John.
Oh,
which is even funnier.
Okay,
I know.
John.
Of all the names, so like House by the Cemetery, there's a annoying kid in this film, and his name is John, and it's amazing. I love that that's his name. It just makes me laugh.
So good they named him twice.
Yeah. Now that scene,
it's just greedy to have two first names, really.
Yeah, I know. Like his parents, well, should we call him John? What about John?
Yeah, maybe they think it's cute because
John.
you repeat the name.
It's just honestly, what a name! What an incredible name.
So maybe it inspired Jack. Who knows?
Who knows? But what I thought about that death is very interesting is that it happens off screen.
Yes.
And the way that the characters talk about it makes it sound like the most horrible death in the film, even though we can't see it. We only see blood coming from the ceiling.
Well, they say, it was truly butchered. They were really butchered, but you don't see any of it.
Now, realistically, that could have been because they just didn't have the money to film it, or they did film it and it looked bad, or maybe it was always meant to be off screen. I don't know. But weirdly, you think, we've seen a woman literally vomit up her own intestines.
Yeah. Is that the one you said I was underselling?
Yes, very much so. Yes.
I've become too used to this,
Yeah,
haven't I?
a woman throws up her own guts, like, as you do. Yeah. But like that scene, it's like, oh fuck, what has she done? This zombie Emily has killed her parents, and it's so
Yeah.
brutal for
Well,
like, yeah.
Other hints we have, because I've got written down here some little quotes. So apparently they were totally butchered, and then he also says they were literally ripped to shreds. And then John, not Jack, says he saw Emily eating mommy and daddy. So it's kind of
Yeah,
quite grim.
pretty much.
So Sandra gets her skull crushed by Emily.
Yeah.
Another cool skull crush. Mr. Ross gets taken by zombies.
Yeah, by Bob, gets his revenge on him from beyond the grave. Him and
awesome.
like the guy behind the bar who,
Yeah.
like I said, the small town kind of ignorance.
Yeah, Mike from the bar, and then the barman. So those three get gone. And Peter Bell gets his skull ripped open by zombie Sandra, who comes back as a zombie.
Yeah, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
Because the scream, I don't know if that is him doing it on the Foley, but whoever they got to do the scream, it worked really well, I think.
Yeah, awesome. And then the zombie Sandra, Jerry gets her with a pitchfork. And then also when we're coming up to the finales, there's quite a lot going on there, which was cool. The zombie priest, Father Thomas, Jerry uses a crucifix on him and sort of stabs him in the guts, which all splurges out. It's really awesome. And then he just sets on fire, which again, I think the effects were really cool.
Yeah. It seems to kill all the other zombies because he's the head zombie. So kind of like the head vampire. In theory, if you kill the head vampire, then all the people they've turned will then turn back.
Yeah. So there's like, so I tried to research it online because it's quite hard to count, but apparently there's around 23 of these zombies wandering around. They're all set on fire, which looks really cool. And then, And then zombie Emily sort of disintegrates as well. So they're all gone. So that makes our total of 40. There are a few not included in this. There are a few extra ones, like maybe a couple of extra ones that were like off-screen deaths that I mentioned, but I'm going to go with 40 as the total.
It's a lot of deaths, let's put it that way. Quite a few.
Yeah.
I mean, overall, I would say that I do enjoy this film a lot. I don't quite enjoy it as much as The Beyond. The Beyond is my favourite of these Lucio Fulci zombie films. And yeah, there's something about that which is even more bizarre, but it's not kind of too bizarre. Like, you don't have anything like the tarantulas appearing, killing a librarian like you did. Although, you do have some kind of surreal moments, like you have walls bleeding.
Oh, yeah.
Which is, really cool, just sort of adds to like the atmosphere of the film. It's not, it's not a big thing. It's not like that kills someone, but like the town is going for a lot.
Yeah. I got some really cool quotes from the very like quaint British dub version.
Okay.
One of my favourite ones is, "What the dickens is this?" That was like just brilliant. There's another one here, like, "I don't believe in the Twilight Zone, so I guess I'll just call the sheriff," which I thought was awesome. And another one later on, that's, "My God in heaven, the living dead." Oh, and that bit as well where he says, "Oh, I'll have to tell you the whole story," and they're going to the cemetery to sort of research the priest who committed suicide, and they don't actually show him telling the whole story. It just cuts to, and that's the whole story.
Yeah, and that would just be like really boring. And it's like, we've seen it. It's fine. Get the idea. Yeah,
it's a lot of exposition there. Anyway.
Yeah,
I'm going to tell you the story. Okay, it's done now.
Yeah, they're not my favourite bits, but there are bits I do find funny. Like, not to take anything away from the film or anything, but one of my favourite parts is the psychiatrist. He's on the phone to Emily's parents, and obviously they don't know where she is because she's not come home. And she obviously told him, "Oh, I'm going to go and see Bob," for some reason. I don't know why, whatever.
What I noticed as well is she randomly walks into one of his sessions and interrupts.
Yeah, it's not very well explained, but I believe she is his girlfriend.
And
that would be why. Not very professional to interrupt one of his sessions still, even if you are his girlfriend, but still.
Highly confidential. She's talking about potential incest.
Yeah.
Her fantasies about marrying her dad, and like she just walks right in there.
Yeah. But like they have this conversation on the phone. He puts the phone down and he remembers, and to tell the audience like what he's remembered, he just writes Bob in capital letters on his notepad, which is hilarious. It's so funny.
Oh, that's great. I like the bit as well because that's Jerry, the psychiatrist.
Mm.
I like the bit where they open the family tomb and they're sort of discovering all these crazy things and
Giant rats.
yeah, all he says is like, "I wish I had a cigar."
Well, I mean,
Fair.
you know, one day you're kind of going about your day, and then a few days later, oh god, I've got to open up this guy's tomb,
Yeah,
excavate his body, set it on fire, and all that kind of stuff.
I know it's hard work. So yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah.
a pretty cool ending. It's quite like an open like ending there.
Yeah, I don't
Linked
like
in-
the ending to this film. I think the ending's a bit shit.
Where it's like
It's
it's kind of alluding to the fact that
John.
could be a zombie and have caught the zombie sort of thing at the end, but it's not. It just ends there, so you just leave it to your imagination.
Yeah, it's a very awkward ending because the way they're reacting to John is that, oh, he's a zombie, like he's been turned, but he doesn't look like he's been turned into a zombie. And the way that the scene's been kind of edited, they've done some kind of creative stuff where the screen sort of starts cracking or something. I don't know. That was the editor's idea. Fulci, in an interview that I saw, said, well, it was the editor's idea to do that.
Which has aged very badly.
Yeah,
if I'm
it's
honest.
just, I don't know, it's just a bit rubbish. The ending of The Beyond is much better. Even the ending of House by the Cemetery is much better than that.
Yeah.
So that is a bit of a down note to kind of end the film on. But overall, like I said, look, I enjoy the film. It's a fun watch.
Yeah.
Great atmosphere, great kills.
Great close-ups of the priest eyes with like the grey makeup. It was making me laugh a little bit.
Yeah,
to be
that's
honest.
Fulci loves eyes. So there are many close-ups of eyes. Well, there's one very literal close-up of Catcher McCall's eye at one point. But yes, there's close-ups of people's eyes. A lot of that going on. And yeah, like I said, look, an awesome score by Fabio Frizzi, one of my favourites of his.
Yeah, fantastic.
It's amazing. So yeah, so this one, as I said, look, it's not a video nasty at all. Should it have been a video nasty at all, in your opinion?
Well, not by standards of today, but the effects are quite gory, so maybe a little bit, maybe shocking enough to sort of be a Section 3 back then, but I don't think this is as brutal as you would think.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one, sort of why his other 3 zombie films from this period are Section 2 video nasties, and this one isn't even on there at all. Bit bizarre.
I mean, by today's standards, you can tell the gore is fake, but back then it's showing quite a lot of like gore, like mushed up brains and guts. So
yeah,
probably should have been, but we will take it like a bit more lightly now.
Yeah, exactly. So it comes highly recommended from both myself and Ria. Now, if you want to watch this and you are on streaming, you can buy it, which doesn't mean a lot because you can buy it and they can just take it away from you. It's not really yours. But anyway, that's another matter entirely. But anyway, if you're in the UK, you can do that on Amazon Video and Apple TV. If you're in North America, you can also buy it on Apple TV. In this country, if you want to stream it and you have a subscription to Arrow Player, you can do it on there. In America, if you have a subscription to IndieFlix, Crunchyroll, or Filio, again, it's on there, so you can watch it. So it's available in a few different places on streaming. Now, if you want to buy it and actually own it and touch it, like in your hands, there's a couple of places you can do that from. If you're in America, you can buy it from Cauldron, and it's available in Blu-ray and 4K. And if you're in the UK, you can buy it from Arrow, like I have done, as you can see.
Excellent.
So this is my copy. It's great. So yeah. So if you want to own it, that's kind of how you would do that. But yeah, a very good start, I will say. It's probably the best zombie film that we've covered in the series.
Yeah, agreed.
Would you say?
Yeah, I think so.